Hello everyone. The tool that I chose to explore was Trello. I had never heard of Trello or really had the opportunity to explore anything quite like it. I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was simple, easy to use, and best of all, free. So once you log in or sign up for Trello, you'll be brought to a screen that looks like this, and this is where your boards are and your teams are. A board is simply just something that you've created that you've put new lists in. So this was the welcome board. That's just an example that you can play around with. And the lists that are created on this one is stuff to try and tried it. So you can look at what it says to do. So cards do many things. Click on this card to open it and learn more. So you would click on it, and then there's lots of more information inside of it. So you can put an attachment, which would be a great way to kind of put in a document or an spreadsheet that you may have typed up for the course, and add that in so that other team members could see it. You can just move cards. You can add all the information you want them to see just on there. So there's a lot more that you can do with them to kind of move them around. As you can say, you can add labels to it. You could put a checklist in there, a due date, or even, as I've already talked about, an attachment. This is a board that I've created, and it's just a Trello board, and it was to help me get organized for my presentation on Trello. I didn't do a lot with it because I was really just kind of playing around with it and seeing how you could make new cards and move things around. But let's add a document today just so that we can see how you would do that. Okay, so to add a document, you would just create your card first, and then you would click on it to open that card. And you would come over here and add attachment, and you would find where is that attachment coming from. So I chose from my computer, so I would go to my computer, open up where it is located, and I'll just pick one, and then you would stick that in there to attach it. And then it would be attached there for anyone to see that needed to see it. And then if someone came in and looked at that, they could add a comment and, nice work, or, and then they could save that comment and it would show up. It's not as exciting because I'm the only one looking at it, but you can also add extra members here if you just wanted members there. So there's lots of fun things you can do with this, with your cards and that. But another exciting thing for online learning is that you could create different teams, which could be used to create different courses or different groups within a course. So you would just go to create a team, and in that team you would put, let's put 7th hour, for example, in case you are a high school or upper grade that you have multiple hours. And so you could put 7th hour, I don't know, whatever you teach, world history. And then you would create, and then in that board you would go to members, and this is where you would enter your students' email addresses, or if you've already set up Trello accounts for them, you could just search for them by name and enter them that way. And then within the boards you could create assignments with due dates, or you could create discussions and forums for people to go into and talk about different subjects. You could always put in a link to a video that you want them to watch, and they could go to that video, come back, and then discuss it within the card that you created. So there's lots of ways to use this within an online learning course. I really think that my favorite part about it for online or distance learning, or just an online component to a real regular ed class, is that it really fosters collaboration, which is really hard to establish in a class that is online or distance, because, for example, I live in London, England, so I am 6 hours different than most of you who are living in Kansas, which makes that collaboration piece kind of difficult. So it's really nice to have a place where you can come that is free. And I could come, at any time during my day and go into discussion 3, look at my question, add different cards and discussions for it, and then my partner could come in later at any time during her day and respond to any of my comments, my questions, or anything that I've said, and we could really have that collaboration even though we are on different schedules. So I really liked that aspect of it. I liked that I could create different classes, I could create groups within a class, and I can have it all in one place to see, which is really nice. So I thought it was a really great tool to use for that, and that there are lots of ways that you could use it for different kinds of assignments, whether it be discussion or due dates or assignments to be turned in or links to go look at different things. I think that there is a lot you could do with it, and I encourage you to go on and explore it if you have not already. I will post a link to just this Board Basics Getting Started, which has a lot of information more in depth than what I've said of how you could go about setting things up and things that you can do with it. So I will post that in my description. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.